Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create the Anemone bracelet. And this was created by Joyce, and her Instagram handle is 33shintara33. I'm going to place that right down here at the bottom of my screen. I will also have it linked down below. I do highly recommend you checking out her Instagram page. She has some of the most beautiful blinged out renditions over there. So I highly recommend checking that out. So you can see here that you can really play around with the colors on this to get a little bit of a different look. I'm going to be doing this style today. But I do just want to note that you will need extension bands for this bracelet since I'm only going to be doing one set of loom today. So with that being said, you will need about 112 bands plus however many extension bands you'll need. The breakdown is 30 of this glow in the dark green, 26 of the dark hunter green, 16 of the lime green, 12 of the hot pink, and 28 of the white. I will have the breakdown down below if you want to make a full-length bracelet. So let's go ahead and get our bands ready and I will show you the loom setup. To get started, you're going to need to have at least 5 bars and you're going to have them set up in a normal staggered position. If you want to avoid making an extension, you will need another set of 5. So you'll have this 5 set up and then another 5 set up right in front of it. I'm just using the one set of 5. I'm not doing an extension at the end of the video, but if you do need to know how to do one, there will be a video down below and you can go ahead and watch the end of that to see how I make an extension. So the first thing we're going to do is choose these side bands. This is actually the back of the bracelet, which is the glow in the dark bands there. And you see them right here. So we're going to start by laying one in the very center for closing it. And then we're going to go out to the left 2 times. And we'll do the same going to the right 2 times. From there, we're just going to go down the sides. This first one that I'm laying straight is going to be considered the number 1, and we're going to be laying 10 of them. So that was 2, 3, and so forth. So I'll lay 10 of them, and then I'll bring it into the center. If you're using 2 loom sets, and you want our looms to be able to look identical, like if you need to be able to follow me exactly, then you're going to lay 22 straight ones before you bring it into the center. For this design, we had to tweak some things to be able to get it to fit on the one loom. So technically, you can actually go all the way down the loom if you're using 2 loom setups, but then our looms are not going to look exactly the same. So if you need to follow me exactly, lay 22 side ones for 2 loom sets. After you've laid those, either 10 or 22, you're going to bring it into the middle 2 times until you reach the center pin. Come back to the beginning and you're going to go ahead and do that exact same thing on the left side, just like that. So you may want to go through and push these side bands down some. So now we're going to be laying these hunter green bands that are on the sides. I used 2 different colors on this one and I'll explain that in just a second. But we're going to come to the side pin right here on the right and we're going to lay a diagonal band going into the center and do the same on the left corner. We're going to come up to this pin right here, and that's where our next one is going to start. And we're going to start making, it's kind of like a W shape. But if you liked this version where you're alternating every section, this is where you would choose a new color right now. But I'm using all of green for the whole thing. So on this pin right here, we're going to go outwards towards the side, and we're just going to lay it like a zigzag. So we went out towards the side, now we're going to go back in. And then we will go out from there and back in. So if you look from the side, it looks like a W. We need to do that same thing on the left side. So from this pin right here, go out towards the sidebar, back in towards the middle, out again, and then in. So you can see both sides are like mirroring each other. And we're going to keep repeating that same W shape. So come down to your next open pin and that's where our next one will start. If you're alternating colors, go back to whatever color you were using right here. So we start by going out towards the side or diagonally down, and then in, out, in. You should always be laying 4 of them. Sometimes it can be easy to lay it upside down, so just always make sure that your starting bands are always facing the same direction. Mine are good to go, so I'm going to come down and lay my last one right here. And then I will repeat on the left side. Like so. So go ahead and push them down a little bit. And we're going to choose our next color. So for this next part, it is much easier to just choose one color. The way I have the blue, that's the bands we're laying now. But I'm going to be doing this style here, where I alternate the hot pink and the lime green. I actually got this color pattern from 7284 Christy, my friend on Instagram. I really liked how that looked, so that's what I'm doing today. It does make it a little bit trickier laying it, so if you want to go the easier route, all one color definitely is, but I just like the unique look of that. So I'm going to be grabbing green first, my lime green. I'm going to lay it going straight, and then I have to grab my second color and lay that straight. And from there, we need to basically lay like a starburst pattern. So I'm going to go back to my green, and from this center pin, we're going to be basically filling out the surrounding pins, but I'm going to have to keep switching colors as I do it. So I'm going to lay my left first. From this center pin, go out to the right, but going diagonal down. And now we need to do the diagonal up ones, but I have to go back to my pink color. You can see they're all connecting to that center pin. And then for the last band, which will go straight from that pin, I need to go back to my green. So that part is finished, and we need to start laying them again. So for my color pattern, I need to lay another green going straight, and then a pink going straight. From there, I need to start filling out my starburst shape. So I will go to my lime green, and that will go diagonal down on the left and the right. And then we'll go up from that center pin with my pink. And then we will lay the green going straight. So I have my starburst filled out. Now I need to go back to doing my straight band, which will start with the green. And then a straight going with my pink. Switching to my green, and we're going to go diagonal down on the left and the right. That band looks like it's going to break. I'm going to switch that out. Going to go up and then straight with my green. So I'm going to start that again. So I will go straight with my green and then straight with my pink. And then I will lay my last part of my starburst, is what I call it, flower starburst. Either one will work. And then don't forget to lay your last straight one connecting to the top center. So I'm just going to give you a quick little slow motion so you can see. I know it can be a little bit tricky. If you look closely, you can see that my goal was to make the Y-shaped part a different color. So that was my goal, just to make that Y in pink. Alright, enough on that part. So push all of that down, and now we are going to basically be laying a very similar shape to that. It's just a longer stretched starburst or flower type of pattern, and you don't see that a whole lot from the top. It's actually the white bands poking through there and there. They're more so like inside the bracelet. You might be able to see it a little more on this one. That's the clear. So I'm going to grab my white bands, and I would definitely push all of these down because there is going to be a lot of bands on here. But where that starburst is, you see how it goes in a circle? It's the third pin down is where we're starting. We're going to do a long stretch diagonal band up to the right. From that center pin, we're going to go all the way over here to the pin next to it on the outer row. And now from that center, down here to this pin here. From the center, we're going to connect over here. And then over to the pin on the outer left. And then this one right here will be the last one, so upper diagonal. So you can see how all 6 of those bands makes that little shape there. And we need to do that on top of each like flower or starburst. So here is my next one here. If you need to count, it's the 6th pin down that we're starting our next one on. And the first one will go diagonal up to that pin there. And then we'll keep going to the surrounding pins. So out to that right pin, diagonal down to the right and the left, out to this corner pin over here. Well, it's not really a corner, side, and then upper left. Do the same thing on this one here. And we have to do the same thing on the last one. But this is where we had to change things a little bit to get everything to fit. So for the first one that we lay, we actually are just going to lay it from the center, going right on top of that pink to the right. The second one is going to connect over here. So it's a long stretched one. We would do the next one like we normally would, connecting down here. Same with the left one. And then also this one. But the last one will need to connect on top of that pink one as well. So the first and the last, we are not doing a long stretch. They're going to be stretched short like so that they fit in our loom. So what we're going to do is grab more of that white band, and we're going to lay triple cap bands on the centers of each of these flowers. So you can use your fingers, your hook, whatever is easiest for you, but we do need to wrap this band around 3 times. And there's a lot of bands on here, so I would definitely make sure that you push them down a good bit just to give us a little bit of room. After you have the centers capped, grab one more band, which is going to be the first color you laid on the sides here, and go ahead and just place a regular cap band on the very last pin, and that's just going to be wrapped around twice. You don't need to triple cap that one. So that's actually the last band that we needed to lay. So at this point we would turn our loom around facing ourselves, and we are going to be ready to start the looping. So the first thing we're going to do is go into all of the center cap bands and loop out all of the white bands. So we're going to be looping them in the opposite order that we laid them, so counterclockwise. So in this first one down here, we're going to push back that triple cap band. The first one is going to go diagonal down to the right. And then we'll keep going in that same order all the way around until we do our last one. So I'll keep reaching into this cap band. The next one is this one here, going out to the outer right, upper right, upper left, side left, and then diagonal down. Make sure you don't lose that cap band, push it down, and we're going to come up to our next one and do the same thing. The first one will always be diagonal downwards, and then just keep going counterclockwise until all 6 of them are looped out. Alright, so this is what it looks like after they're all looped out. You can push them down just to be safe. We're going to come back to the beginning, and now we're going to start looping the second layer of those starburst type of bands, which are my green and my pink. So we'll actually start looping from this cap band at the very beginning, and the first one will get looped straight. And now from there, we're just going to be looping them all back to themselves from this center pin. So reaching in here, the first one will go diagonal left. Just make sure you're only grabbing one. I'm grabbing like 3. Go back in, and then this one will go diagonal down to the right. Go back in and we will do these two. So the first one will go upper left, upper right, and then straight. So you can see they all just get looped back to themselves, and then we're going to go in this pin right here and loop this one straight and straight again. Once you loop that straight one into the middle, you see how we have that circle, that white circle? Once you loop that straight into there, that's when we need to loop the starburst out to their surrounding pins. So I'll go in, loop my pink back to itself, and repeat with the green and the straight one. Once they're all looped out, we're going to loop this green straight 2 times, and again loop out your starburst. We will loop our 2 greens going straight, and we will loop this out for the last time. Make sure you don't forget to come back and loop the very last one going straight. So we're going to come back to the beginning now, and we're going to be looping the side dark green bands. So my ones on the side right here. And they also are going to be getting looped back to themselves from the inner row right here. So in this first one right here, we're just going to push everything back, grab my green, and loop it to itself. This one here, you're going to grab the top one because there is 2 of them in there. This is the trickier pin because we have a lot of bands facing different directions. So just take your time. Make sure you are getting the layers out of the way and only grabbing the hunter green that is facing diagonal down, like so. Go back in and do the one going up. And for this section, we have one more right here, like so. So I'm going to go ahead and do the left side as well. Like that. Locate your next green sections. Mine are right here, and we're going to do the same thing. I don't know where you guys are, but where I am located, it is so brutally hot. I mean, like dangerously hot. My son and husband are going with their grandfather down to the shore, and I was helping them like pack the car and, you know, getting them all situated, and ooh, it was brutal out there. I can't even imagine. Alright, so I have a couple left. I'm just going to kind of fast forward through this part until we get this part done, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. So when you are done, just make sure you didn't forget to loop the very last one, because we don't have a whole W up here. It's only one single one on each side. So don't forget to do that last one. I did push mine down a little bit. So now we have to do a step before we loop the border. We need to flip some bands over. So I'm going to do my left side first. And you can see this corner pin here. We're not going to do anything on that corner one. Come up to the one in front of it where that first section of green bands are. And you're going to be grabbing the top part of your side border band. So it's the band that sits right under my green bands, right here. And we're going to be flipping that top part of the band. So it's technically the second band up, if you're counting from the bottom. And you're just flipping it over. We're going to do that on each pin going up the loom. Just flipping the second band up on each one. And you will do it on this top corner one, and that will be the last one. You're going to do that same exact thing on the right side, Remember, we're not doing it on the corner bottom pin. This one right here will be the first one. And just flip that over. So go ahead and get all of these flipped, including the very top one, and I'll meet you back here. So now that we have that flipped, all we have left to do is loop up the border, and that is going to be the easiest part. We just loop it forward like a normal border. So going into the cap band, I'm going to grab my top band and go to the right. Grab the very bottom band in here. There is a lot of bands on there, so make sure you're grabbing the bottom one. Bring it to the right. And we're going to continue grabbing the very bottom band and just following it up the loom. I did want to ask you guys, so YouTube has made some changes to the way that they run their ads. I used to control mine and like try to place them in certain parts so that it wasn't interruptive to you guys. But now that they do it automatically, I don't know, because I can't see how the ads play like you guys can. So have you guys noticed, is it like annoying? Is there too many? I really would like some feedback on if you've even noticed any changes, because yeah, it's kind of been a new thing for about a month or so. So very curious about that. Let me know down below if you've noticed anything. All right, so after we get to the very top, we're just going to continue following the border until we get into the center. Like so. So you need to do that same exact thing on the left side. So we'll go back into the cap band and just continue grabbing the bottom band all the way up the left side. So I did jump ahead, but don't forget to bring it all the way around until you reach the very top. Bring it into the middle, and then we're going to locate the loose band that we left there to close it, and we'll reach down in the center and bring both ends together. If you're making an extension, you can temporarily C-clip this or put it on your hook until you get it off of the loom. I will put a little video or eye up here. If you need to click that, go to the end of that video and it will show you how to do an extension, since I won't be doing one today. Alrighty, so when you take it off of the loom, you will either need to add an extension or you'll be ready to C-clip it. So just locate your cap band down here and connect your C-clip to it. One thing I do like to do to this design is grab both sides and stretch it left to right, just to help open up the center, because sometimes it gets kind of smushed together. And that just helps be able to see the details a little bit better. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that little piece to the side. But that is how you create the Anemone bracelet, created by Joyce on Instagram, also known as 33 Shantara 33. I will link her page down below and at the bottom of this video. Please don't forget to go show her page some love. Also tag her and myself if you make one. We both would love to see a rendition. But that will be it for today, you guys. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you really soon at my next tutorial. Thanks, guys. Bye.